Eyes are closed and adjust your entire body, and especially the joints, shoulder joints, neck joints, hips, knees, ankles, and the toes. So adjusting means that you are being comfortable. Being comfortable is to raise your energy level. Why? Because first we raise our awareness and then we raise our energy. So when we raise our energy, we raise also the energy level. That is what we are going to understand easily. So once you have adjusted every part of the body, look at the shoulder joints. Mentally feel sensation, comfort, and steadiness. So when you experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness, it moves the mind within. The mind tends to leave the body. And that not only raises awareness and also energy. So what is very important? That we should experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Move the mind and the entire body from the top of the head to the toes. Feel and experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Move the mind once again and experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Remember that steadiness and the comfort and the sensation goes a long way in the journey of changing our mind. Now, looking inside the head, you're looking inside the head, and looking inside the head, and then the thoughts coming and going, coming and going. It's not a difficult thing to understand two things. When I say you are standing across a road watching the traffic. So one is the traffic and other is standing. You are standing. So there is also a mental traffic of thoughts. Two things are there. One mind is watching, and other part of the mind has many thoughts. The way you are not a traffic, so you are not a thought. So you don't disrupt the traffic when you are standing across the road. So you don't disrupt any thought, let it come. You don't disrupt any thought, comes and goes, good and bad, high and low. Let them come, let them go, like a traffic. Once we raise this is again raising your awareness level. When you raise your awareness level, the mind moves within. Mind moves. These are the two steps have to be understood and applied at any time. Now if we replace the habitual thinking, what is habitual thinking? I'm tired, I'm unhappy, I'm dissatisfied, I have a lot of challenges, I have anxiety. We just keep aside all those thoughts and we replace it with the thoughts and the message of the mantra. So today I will recite the mantra and you listen to it, and then I will explain the meaning and the knowledge. So that part should offer you a state of contemplation. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Where is the meaning? Let everyone be happy. Let everyone be happy. So what it means, let everyone be happy, how it helps me. So just become aware of near and the dear ones, your kids, Eric, and others, and then you simply think, let them be happy. Why? Because if they are happy, you are happy. Then extend your mind to your friends, just remembering. Just remember in your mind, and your mind is saying, let them be happy. Again, remember why. So what is happening? In this way, this mind is not distracted and divided when we think in this way. But when you think that I'm tired and I have a lot of problem and this guy is crazy and that, then mind is already divided, and divided mind causes too much of fatigue. I didn't ask you that what thoughts you have had since morning. That is another that happens unconsciously, and that causes. So now move the mind as far as possible to the entire planet Earth, and mentally you are saying, let everyone be happy. Sarve santu niramaya, sarve santu niramaya, sarve santu niramaya. This means let everyone be in the state of perfect health. Why we say? Because so that the mind moves with a higher energy to keep us in the state of well-being. That is the power of the mantra. First we have to believe in what we do not know, so that we realize what we believed in. So again, moving your mind to the near and the dear ones, visualizing them, and let everyone be healthy or in the state of well-being. You know, a lot of those people who are doing psychic and energy healing, you are moving into that area in a very practical and understanding. And then move your mind to your friends and even those who do not like you or you do not like them, because we want to keep the mind beyond attachment or detachment, beyond reaction and response. That is what happens to the mind. Let everyone be in the state of well-being, and move your mind in all directions as far as possible in the front to the infinity in the back. You are moving the mind in all directions to cover everyone. Everyone mentally, emotionally. Let everyone in the state of well-being. That is the second line of the mantra. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. It means let there be a blessing and the grace for everyone. Are you praying? No, you are expanding your mind, but in the form, in the language of a prayer. But it's much more than that. Oh, so let there be a grace and the blessing to everyone? Answer is yes. How we both are blessed at this time. It is the same air we are breathing. It is on the same earth we are sitting. It is the same space we are sharing. This is the grace and the blessing from the existence. So you move the mind just outside, near and dear to the near and dear ones, your kids, Eric, or anyone who is near to you, dear to you. And then you say mentally, let there be a grace and a blessing for them. From where it is coming from the existence. But you change your mind in a thought pattern, which is required anytime, anywhere. If you contemplate and reflect on these 4 lines, relaxation is a very small thing, is a byproduct. But you are ready to change your mind. Move the mind in all the directions. In front it goes to the infinity, in the back, below, in the top, right and the left, as if you are covering the entire planet. Just visualize. It is the way we expand the mind. Let everyone be in the state of well-being. And the 4th line, Ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhaved. Ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhaved. Ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhaved. Let no one suffer from any misery in this world. So when you think in this way, your mind moves to the state of compassion and kindness. In the state of compassion and kindness, we get an extra energy that is already reserved within us, beyond the body. So looking again the near and the dear ones, let no one suffer. Expand your mind means that you start looking in the front stretches to the infinity as if you are touching one corner of the earth. At the back, right and the left, as if your mind moves into the space and touches. Let there be no suffering to anyone. Your thinking triggers the energy deeper inside. That energy spreads and expands. It expands the mind. Expansion of mind is relaxation. Contraction of the mind is anxiety, duality, reaction. I'm giving a different definition for you to understand. Now experience the change at this time. Experience the change. It is better to go a little deeper. Look at the head and the neck, and look at the head and the neck and experience sensation relaxation in stillness. Look at the right arm, sensation, relaxation in stillness. Look at the left arm, sensation, relaxation in stillness. Look at the middle portion of the body from the shoulder down in front to the waist and from the back to the spine. Sensation, relaxation and stillness. My friend, it takes time not only to understand, but if you are doing it anytime, anywhere, it takes few minutes. You remember the 4 lines of this mantra and then we'll start chanting from the next session. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. Let everyone be happy. You just think and remind your mind. Sarve santu niramaya. Let everyone be healthy. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Let there be a blessing and the grace to everyone. And the 4th one, ma kaschid dukkha bhaga bhaved. Let none suffer from misery in this world. We are doing nothing. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. How do you feel now? It is possible, but if we simply remember the mantra and internally, mentally, we repeat and feel it, so it changes the pattern of the mind, and that mind starts moving within, and we become easily relaxed and calm. Anytime, anywhere. Sometime I speak for 5 to 6 hours, but I don't feel tired. There is no fatigue in the tiredness. Another way to understand today what is the Eastern wisdom. Who you are?
Huh?
Who you are?
Who I am?
Yes.
Carlene?
Carlin is the name. You cannot be the name. Who you are?
Well then.
Are you the body?
No.
Are you sure? So you are not the body, you are not the name, then who you are? So the journey of the Eastern wisdom, the first question, it discovers, it answers who we are. Who we are. So the simple answer is who I am or who we are. We are pure consciousness of the nature of permanent peace, happiness, love, truth and wisdom. I don't believe you. Your mind says. Obviously, you don't believe because you don't experience the permanent peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom all the time.
Yes.
Sometimes you get upset, sometimes you already told me you are fatigued, you are tired. So we have to bridge this gap by the knowledge and the practice. I don't know who am I is the starting point. To realize who am I, what to realize? That I am of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. I have to follow and treat the path. I have to follow the principle to discover. Same thing, it is the same thing like you pick up your daughter from the school. You follow, you drive your car, you stop there, you pick up the daughter, and then you return home. It is the same way. Then what is this world outside? What answer you have? Anything outside is the world. Array, kids, house, time, place, people, relations, problems, suffering, they are just the world outside. Because what is outside your body is the world. So if we know the true nature of the world, if I know the true nature of the world, this world is not going to give me any kind of stress and suffering. Because I don't know the true nature, the real nature of the world, how I am related to the world. Once I know how should I relate to the world, then I cannot be in stress and suffering. This is the second question the Eastern wisdom answers. I told you before, we have 3,000 teachers, 3,000 texts, 10,000 years old tradition. They all taught the same principle, differently. Okay, then from where this I and the world came from? Do you have any idea? Can you guess? Tell me.
That is what? What did you say?
From where you came, from where the world came from.
I don't know.
So I know that I exist, but I don't know from where I came. I know the world outside of people, of relations, of stress and of suffering and anxiety, duality and pain, and still I don't know the true nature of the world. So our masters say it comes from the existence. So if we know the true nature of the existence, it is possible for us. So what happens? You know fully who you are, you know the nature of the world, you know the existence. Where is the problem? There is no problem. That is the goal of the Eastern wisdom. We claim we know it, but we don't know. We claim I'm a girl and I'm a boy, I'm a mother and I'm a father, but these are the labels. I'm Carlin. These are the labels, names. I can change my name to Carlin. It does not become that. It does not mean that I'm Carlin. Carlin is simply a name. So name and the form and the sex and the gender does not mean that I know myself. So we have a method. We have a method. Where is the first step of the method? But before we go there to first step of the method, you have to observe this world outside carefully. Are you aware of the house, the attic, and the kids? And yes, you are aware. Where are you sitting? You are aware of it. Right? Can you tell me anything that does not change? Just check it, examine. Anything that you see in front of you, everything is changing. Whether it is a house, whether it is kids or Eric, everyone is changing. There is nothing that does not change. I cannot find peace in the midst of change. Whatever is changing, there is no happiness. Because it is changing, so it may be happiness today, it will change tomorrow. That's why we have a problem of marriage, soulmate, dating, then divorce, and then remarriage, and it continues the process. We remain frustrated. At one time, in one location, a couple says, "Oh, we are soulmate." At a different time, after the time, few weeks and few months over, we change. Are you understanding? Now look at yourself. Our body has changed since birth. It is still changing. We want to know what is, if there is any entity that does not change. And if we can find that entity which does not change, that is the real I. So our body is changing, our breath is changing, our mind is changing, our thoughts are changing. Last time you said you were relaxed, and today you said you are tired. So everything is changing. Not only the world outside is constantly in flux, but even the body, breath, mind, intellect, and ego, they all are changing. How do you label what is changing? What is changing is not permanent. What is changing is not permanent. If I stick to, if my mind imagines anything that is changing as permanent, is the cause of my fear, my dissatisfaction, my anger, my anxiety. For you, Eric is not the cause of your anxiety, stress, and suffering, or upset. You are also not the cause of upset to the Eric or the kids. But your mind imagines permanency in relationship. Are you listening or feeling sleepy?
I'm listening.
So one thing, that anything that I see is constantly changing, not only in the world outside, but also in our body, mind, intellect. What is the cause of your fatigue today?
I have a cold.
Oh, you see. So this is the way we need to examine. First is the symptom. What is the symptom? Fatigue. Cause is cold. And what is the cause of the cold? So that is how we have to understand. Eastern wisdom is nothing to do with the belief, cult, dogma, religion. I know you are wise and intelligent. That's why I started the journey from the middle. So we have to find the cause. Anytime we are angry or upset, if I start looking at the cause of becoming upset and angry, we are moving the mind within. We normally leave it as it is. When you leave it as it is, then it is your habit, then you have a behavior and attitude, then it is impulsive. We cannot find who we are in the effect. It is in the ultimate cause. First factor. Second factor, if anything is made up of the parts, we are not there. I cannot be the part. What did it mean? Body is made up of parts. That is why I am not the body. Breath is also made up of parts. I don't know how many breaths I have taken yesterday, and still I am breathing. So every breath is a part. So I cannot be the breath. Same thing, I cannot be the thought. I cannot be the mind. Do you see what I am thinking, what I am going to speak? It cannot be seen by the senses. What you are thinking, I cannot see it. But sometimes I read the thoughts also. That's a different thing. So you see, there are two things. One, that we can see through the sense organs, and the other cannot be seen by the sense organs, like the thoughts and the feeling. Thoughts and the feeling, nobody knows. You may be upset. Say, for example, with an addict says, "How are you?" "I'm here." "No, I'm fine." So you have a big smile on your face, but internally you are upset. That is subtler. It happens. It happens all the time. It happens. It's not a big deal. So there are two things. What cannot be seen by the sense organs, we have to know how to find that thing which cannot be seen by the sense organs. Our real nature cannot be seen by the sense organs. That real nature, that real self is of the nature of peace and happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. That is why all great masters, whether it's a Buddha or Jesus or many masters, we have more than 3,000 masters, they recognized, they realized through these principles, they started teaching and the coaching in order to help each and every one to realize to that state. So we have to analyze our thoughts, our feeling. We have to understand and analyze the entire world. We have to analyze the changes in the body to discover the real self. That is the journey. In which, we understand, we apply the principle, we have a lot of practices. We have around maybe 100,000 practices. Depending on the person, their temperament, the teacher gives those practices. So I have been talking about the real, and so then what is false? So when we apply our mind to separate the false from the real, our mind becomes clear. And then we do the practice, we are totally absorbed into a higher meditation, we can find the real self. So we have to live in a state of awareness where we recognize what is false and what is real. So the definition of the false is constantly changing. Another definition, what appears false, what appears true is not true. Are you feeling sleepy? Oh, that's good. So this process of separating the false and the real is known as the power of discernment in the intellect. power of discernment. For example, the rice is of white in color and it is mixed with the black seed. So at a physical level you separate. So how we separate? Based on the properties. This black seed is black in color, rice is white in color, so let me separate. How can you separate milk from the water? There is always a mixture, milk and the water. So it is separated by the process in a machine. We can separate. But how we know that we have separated? We know the properties of water. We know the properties of milk. Chemical, physical properties. Same way, we separate real from the unreal by understanding the properties. What is the properties of the false? Anything that is changing is false. And that is what we discussed in the beginning. The world is constantly changing. Body is constantly changing. So this body is a false and I am not the body. False does not mean that it does not exist. Why we separate? You have just identified with your body in the beginning of a session, and your mind internally said that I am the body, and then that I felt fatigue in the body, which you said that I am tired. That is why we have to separate the false from the real. That I should not be labored internally, emotionally, neither with the body, nor with the body, breath, mind, intellect, and ego. And you will see the energy level is continuously maintained. It takes time. It may look to you as a dream. No, I will prove it that it is real. So another way to understand the false, what I said, there is a real, there is a false, and there is unreal. Unreal means that it does not exist. If I say elephant flying in the sky, it is unreal, not possible. And real means that always exists. It existed yesterday, it is existing today, it will continue to exist in the future. So that real I, that consciousness always exists. And what is false? So one definition, that it is constantly changing. Second definition of the false, that it takes birth and it dies. The body takes birth and body dies, but I am not the body. That is how internally in our head, we cannot separate body from the self. We internally, through the knowledge, we understand that this is what the false and the real. Like mirage water. You see the water, mirage water, and as you approach near, the water disappears. Water is not there. So same way, when the mind approaches very near, it goes deep inside, it is absorbed in meditation, you realize I am not the body, I am the pure consciousness of the nature of peace and happiness. I'm just laying a foundation so that I can talk easily on those. So what happens first? We can also, the moment we start approaching towards the real self, we have a deeper understanding of the real self, we find an inner stillness, calmness. We find an harmony. We find a sense of compassion in our life. But as long as we are attached to the false, there is no harmony and compassion. we feel a sense of detachment. Does not mean that we don't care, we have a pure emotion. Attachment is a negative emotion we talk about. Then what happens? We find the inner peace and the joy all the time. Whether we have money or we don't have it. Money is situational. How we follow the path. That is also very important if you listen to it, how we follow the path, and then you will understand how we follow the path. First thing, with clarity, that I understand what is real, what is false, what is unreal. The false keeps changing. False takes birth and then it dies. You know, the car also dies. Used car, it is scrapped. But we normally say it is scrapped. So the existence is going to scrap this body, maybe after another 20, 30, 40 years. I'm 65. So obviously life expectancy, body expectancy is another, you can add 20 years. So existence is going to scrap this body also. You cannot stop it. Nobody can stop it. So body is constantly changing. That is why it is false. Now see, my mind imagines peace and happiness in the world outside, in the relationship, in the wealth, in the home. It imagines, it projects happiness there. But that person and object is constantly changing, and that imagined happiness cannot be achieved, and it causes the anxiety, duality, conflict, attachment, duality. So whenever we are in anxiety, duality, it is because my mind has expectations of happiness outside. So your mind will say, no, I feel happy eating what I like. What do you like in food?
Tacos.
Tacos. Oh, tacos. So you feel happy eating tacos? Okay. So maybe next week I'll come with 10 tacos. And you sit in front of me and you eat the first taco. You are happy. And you said the taco makes you happy. Then I give you the second taco. Your happiness increases or decreases? Huh?
Decreases.
Why? Because taco makes you happy.
Because I get full and tacos don't really make me happy.
Anything. You apply this principle to anything. To any person. That proves that a happiness is not outside. And okay, another way, you just said the taco makes you happy. So do you experience the happiness in the taco or do you experience the happiness in the mind?
The mind.
Obviously it is in the mind. So happiness lives in the mind. So we have also to explore whether happiness is the nature of the mind or somewhere deeper than the mind. So this is how we have to analyze each and every aspect of our life if we want to discover that peace and happiness. And the more you start thinking and contemplating, I know it is a bit challenge to you in the beginning, but once I inspire your mind to follow this pattern of the thinking, those aspects of addiction will also go away. So the more and more we realize, we analyze where the happiness lies. Happiness does not lie in the drug, happiness does not lie in the food, happiness does not lie in the bed. You drive a car worth $100,000, or you drive a car that is worth $5,000. Both covers a distance. Timing may be little different, but their utility is to cover the same distance. You cannot say the car worth $100,000 jumps from my house to the school of my kid. It has still to drive on the road. Same way the bed, same way the house, same way the body. That is the way we need to think to find out our real nature, real self, real, false, and the unreal. So we constantly contemplate and reflect. I can bet you are angry and you start finding the cause of the anger inside, your anger will drop. But we don't analyze. We don't know how to analyze. We don't know how to move the mind to the knowledge. I just told you in the beginning that sense organs can see the entire world, but there is another subtler perception where we can find our thoughts and the feelings. Nobody can judge and nobody can see our thoughts and feelings. It's a subtler level. Subtler than that, there is the real self of the nature of peace and happiness. That is the journey we are going to undertake. So because it is very subtler, so that is why we cannot say it is physical, we cannot say it is material. So we have simply given a name, label. It is spiritual. We've just given a name, it is a spiritual, but we can find out those subtler knowledge. Our mind can see and perceive and experience the permanent state of peace and happiness. Then only we can realize that yes, I cannot see the real self by the sense organs, but I can know it, I can experience it, I can live into it. That is the journey of the self-discovery. So many religions, they use the word soul, so I'm not using that word. We are just using right, it's a pure consciousness. You have to ask a question, where are you in relation to this goal of life? You see, I used to tell Eric and everyone, other private clients, just a couple of years ago, Bill Gates was the richest person in the world. Wealth cannot make you happy. He proved it. How he proved it? He divorced Melinda, his wife, after 27 years. And what mistake he did? He said that I lived loveless life for 27 years. Why? He was searching happiness in his wife. It is not there. He should have found the happiness within. So when you find the happiness in yourself and you express the same peace and happiness to Eric, life is always beautiful. That is the journey we are undertaking. We may think of a question that I want to feel peaceful, content, connecting to something greater than the body, mind, and the life. That is what we are doing it. Step by step process. But mind says no, it seems to be abstract. In the beginning it appears abstract, but as we get absorbed into a deeper meditation, it becomes a reality. We experience that. That is what those masters have been talking about. Unless we remove from our mind what is temporary, what is constantly changing, which I claim as the real, we cannot find that real self. I can give you another simple example. You cannot see all the stars with your naked eyes, but you have a telescope, you can see them. You cannot see what is happening in your belly, but X-rays can tell me. Same way, in Eastern wisdom, we develop the faculty in the mind by which we can see the real self. And as long as the mind is obsessed with the false, we cannot see what is real self. So that is why we have to understand clearly, we have to separate what is false and what is real. And once we separate, we can find out what it is. The problem is the mind constantly is running. Even while listening to me, your mind might have gone somewhere. It has started thinking. It was feeling boredom, or so we have to make our mind pure, calm, relaxed, subtle. Then only we can find the real self. That is just an introduction of the journey to this self-discovery, that this real self is a pure consciousness which is not seen by the sense organs. But when the mind becomes pure, calm, and relaxed, we can explore this real self through the mind. So you have not only to do this practice, but please listen